Hey guys, Brad Danger here. And cheap supercars, well, they are not a myth. They are just usually disguised as bad decisions because every time somebody asks what the best cheap supercar is, the internet turns into a full courtroom drama. One guy is yelling that a 911 is not a supercar. Another guy is yelling that a GTR is not a supercar. Someone else is calling a Corvette just a Chevy while it quietly rearranges the laws of physics. And then one absolute legend shows up and says second generation Prius. And honestly, I love it because I'm not shopping for a dictionary definition. I'm shopping for the feeling. I want the noise. I want the drama. I want the what did he buy energy. I want the kind of car that makes me walk into the garage at night just to stare at it for no reason like a lunatic. But I also want a buy smart car. And that is where people get wrecked. You see, cheap supercars do not mean cheap to own. It means the entry price can be way lower than you think if you know where to look. Buy the right example. And if you do not confuse lowest listing with best value. So today on Idealist, I'm going to give you a list of cheap supercars and supercar adjacent monsters you can buy used in my perspective. And I will actually show you how much you can buy them for. And well, you can find them all for cheap via Auto Tempest in the pinned first comment down below. And remember to go to winthisidealcar.com to get entered to win your dream car plus bonus cash. Okay, let's go. First up, Audi. This is the gateway drug. This is the car that makes you feel like you hacked the system. It looks exotic, it sits right, it has supercar proportions, and it gives you that mid-engine theater without instantly feeling like you adopted a feral animal from Italy. And the reason it always comes up in these conversations is simple. The Audi R8 market on Classic.com shows a lowest recorded sale price of $18,870 for a 2009 4.2 FSI V8 Quattro Coupe. $18,870. Now let me be clear before anybody sells their lawnmower and starts shopping tonight. That is not the normal price. That is the lowest recorded sale, but that number is still insane because it proves these cars can dip into territory. And this is why I love the R8. It has the look, the sound, the presence, and enough Volkswagen Group DNA that people view it as one of the more manageable ways into exotic ownership. Not cheap to maintain, just more survivable if you buy smart. The trap is the same as every cheap exotic. The cheapest one is usually cheap for a reason. Transmission issues, clutch wear on certain early setups, deferred maintenance, mystery service history, and suddenly your deal is a documentary about regret. Quick pause. Because if you want to actually find any of these cars without wasting your life bouncing across fake dealer listings and dead inventory, I linked Auto Tempest in the pinned first comment. You can search all these cars there, compare listings faster, and save yourself from about 90% of the usual used car headache. Go use that. Second, Lamborghini Gallardo. This is where the list stops pretending to be rational and starts getting emotional. Because look, I can say value, depreciation, ownership costs, all day. It is still a Lamborghini. That badge does things to your brain. You walk into a garage and see a Gallardo and suddenly your financial literacy leaves your body. The Classic.com Gallardo base model market shows a lowest recorded sale price of $43,250 for a 2003 manual. Gallardo, 43 grand for an actual Lamborghini is the kind of number that causes bad decisions in real time. Again, not saying go buy the cheapest Gallardo on earth. I am saying the floor exists and it is way lower than most people think. And when these are right, they are magic. V10 soundtrack, proper supercar presence, poster car energy, and that sense of occasion that newer fast cars sometimes just do not have. But this is absolutely not a buy first, ask questions later car. This is a bring a specialist, read every receipt, and have a reserve fund car. If the R8 is the smart exotic starter, the Gallardo is the dream exotic with consequences. Third, Ferrari F430. You want a Ferrari? I want a Ferrari. Everybody wants a Ferrari. Even people who say they do not want a Ferrari would still stop and stare if one rolled by sounding like Judgment Day. The F430 is such a strong answer for cheap supercar value because it still feels special enough to be an event every time you drive it. But it has come down from the truly untouchable pricing zone enough that real enthusiasts can actually play in this market. And yes, Classic.com shows the Ferrari F430 market's lowest recorded sale at $40,000 for a 2005 F430. $40,000 for a Ferrari F430. That is the kind of sentence that would have sounded fake years ago. Now, before anyone loses their mind, let me translate. $40,000 buys you entry into the conversation, not guaranteed happiness. Ferrari ownership math is different math. Tiny things can cost giant money. A cheap Ferrari with no records is not a cheap Ferrari. It is an expensive surprise wearing a red suit. But a sorted F430 with real history is one of the best badge and theater buys in this whole category. It still has that holy crap, that is a Ferrari effect, and for a list like this, that matters. Yo guys, quick pause because this is super important. The giveaway is live right now, and we're giving away this fully built, dripping in carbon Supra, 4 months in the making. And guys, it is the Tuner Hero spec, plus a Shelby GT350 with an exhaust that sounds absolutely ridiculous. So, if you want to win, you've got a decision to make. Do you get the JDM Legend, or do you get the American Icon? And guys, for a limited time, every purchase that you make on the site, which is pinned in the first comment down below, you get 2,000 bonus entries to win one of these cars, plus bonus cash, hat, shirt, entry pack, it don't matter. That's 2,000 extra chances on top. And Rocky from New York grabbed a quick entry pack last time and walked away with a GTR plus bonus cash. So yeah, it definitely happens, and we're running it back with 2 cars. So which one you picking? Let me know in the comments down below, and go get entered as well, and good skill. Fourth, Porsche 911 Turbo, specifically the 997.1. Here we go. The comment section war machine. Is it a supercar or not? I do not care. If it is this fast, this capable, this expensive when new, and this respected by people who actually know cars, it belongs on the list. The Classic.com 997.1 Turbo Market shows a lowest recorded sale price of $30,250 for a 2007 manual project car. Project car? Yes, but still, 30 grand gets you into the range of a car that can absolutely humiliate way more expensive stuff in the real world. This is the assassin pick. The Gallardo wants attention. The 911 Turbo does not need it. Car people know. They see one and immediately understand you did your homework. And that is why this is one of my favorite answers in the whole cheap supercar conversation. It gives you supercar pace and real usability at the same time. If your idea of a supercar is more about engineering than peacocking, this thing's stupid good. Fifth, Nissan R35 GTR. Yes, it is on the list. Yes, it belongs. Yes, somebody is already mad. The GTR spent its whole life embarrassing more expensive cars and making badge snobs type essays. It is not exotic in the old Italian sense. It is a weapon. It looks like engineers designed it to win arguments and then somehow gave it license plates. Classic.com's Nissan GTR CBA-R 35 market shows a lowest recorded sale price of $26,500 for a 2010 GTR Black Edition. $26,500 for that level of performance pedigree is absurd. Now, just like every other hero on this list, condition is everything. This is not the car to buy from a guy whose mod sheet is longer than the service history and whose entire vocabulary is, bro, trust me, a clean GTR is a dream. A cooked GTR is a second job, but as a cheap supercar or supercar killer answer, it is one of the strongest of all time. Sixth, Chevrolet Corvette C6 Z06. And yes, I know, some people refuse to call Corvettes supercars because they are too American, too common, too practical, too something. Cool. Meanwhile, the Z06 is out there doing violence to lap times and making that argument look very silly. The Classic.com C6 Z06 market shows a lowest recorded sale price of $26,000 for a 2007 Z06 Coupe. 26 grand for a naturally aspirated chaos machine that can still terrify people today. This is one of the best value per heartbeat cars on the planet. It does not give you the same imported badge flex as a Ferrari or Lamborghini, but if your goal is speed, drama, and one of the nastiest performance bargains in the game, it absolutely belongs here. Also, this is one of those cars that proves the whole point of this video. Cheap supercar is not one definition, it is a spectrum of insane. Seventh, Acura NSX first gen. This is the cool guy answer. This is the I know exactly what I am doing answer. While everybody else is flexing badges and worrying about attention, the NSX owner is over there quietly owning one of the smartest enthusiast supercar buys ever made. The Classic.com first gen Acura NSX NA. One market shows a lowest recorded sale price of $45,000 for a 1991 NSX. 45 grand for one of the most iconic driver-focused exotics of all time is wild, even if the nice ones are obviously much more. And that is the thing with NSXs. The cheap one is not always the one you want. Condition, originality, and maintenance history matter a lot. But this car earns its place because it combines real exotic energy with a usability reputation that made it legendary. It is less look at me and more you either get it or you do not. I respect that.
Eighth, and yes, we are doing an eighth. It is a wild card, the Mark V Supra. The Supra that you can win, as well as Shelby GT350, plus some bonus cash. No, a Mark V Supra is not the traditional supercar answer. I know that, you know that, but in the real world, for the audience, for this channel, for the way that we actually think about cars, it absolutely belongs in the conversation because of what it can be. Classic.com shows the 5th Gen A90 Supra market with the lowest recorded sale price of $23,750 for a 2020 GR Supra. That, yes, it has the 2-liter, this has the 3, but still, that's insane money. And I totally don't blame you because the B58 is an absolute beast. Well, that's where stuff gets really spicy because the lowest recorded sale is $29,500 for a 2020 GR Supra. Now, here's why I really wanted to put this guy on the list, because even if it's not a supercar by the snob definition, it gives you the exotic looks, the huge tuning potential, and absolute chaos per dollar if you know what you're doing. And for less than $5 grand in the right upgrades, you can build one into a 600 horsepower problem that looks like it should be in a movie. And speaking of that, I am literally giving this one away. So honestly, instead of fighting in the comments about what counts as a supercar, you should just go win this or this, plus bonus cash, and change your life forever. I mean, I would win this thing myself if I could. That's not a joke. It is one of those cars that makes no sense in the best possible way.
Now, the most important thing in this entire video, do not buy the cheapest example. Buy the cheapest example you can afford to own. That sounds like boring dad advice because, well, it kind of is. It's also how you avoid turning your dream car into an invoice printer. A cheap supercar still has supercar tires, supercar brakes, supercar fluids, and supercar while we are in their labor. The purchase price is just the cover charge. The real game is whether you can keep the thing healthy without hating it. So, if I'm ranking cheap supercar energy from the heart, the R8 is the smartest exotic entry. And, well, your boy owned one for a couple years, and it was great with the gated manual. Then you have the Gallardo. It's kind of the dream badge cheat code. The F430 is Ferrari theater at a used car plot twist, and the 997 Turbo is the assassin, while the GTR, which was benchmarked to the 911 Turbo, is a supercar killer weapon. The C6 Z06 is American chaos value, and the NSX is the cool guy long game. Well, yes, the Mark V is the one that you should win. So, which is the one that I would avoid? Well, easy, the one with no records. The one with mystery mods. The one with the seller who says just needs a small thing. The one that you can buy but you can't maintain, because the right cheap supercar gives you stories. The wrong one gives you receipts and a tow truck guy in your favorites. And remember to go to winthisIdealCar.com to get entered to win that Mark V or a Shelby GT350 plus bonus cash, and I pinned all these ideal supercars in the pin first comment so you can check them out on Auto Tempest. I'm Brad Danger. This is Ideal. Like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Check out some of these Ideal vids over here. Oh, and promise me one thing. Keep living the Ideal lifestyle.